Hello, this is John from caveofprogramming.com. In this tutorial, we're going to look at the switch statement in C++. And the switch statement lets you choose between various possible values. So it's basically the same as if, else if, else if, else. It's that kind of thing, which we've seen before. But it's kind of a more elegant statement. And it used to be the case at one point that switch was a bit slower than if, else. But now, these days, I believe it's highly optimized and is often faster than using an if, else if type thing. I'm not really sure about that, and usually these kind of tiny differences in speed are not going to make any difference to you anyway. But it's always nice to know that something's fast. So let's declare a value here. Let's say int value equals, let's say 5. And now supposing we want to take different actions depending on what that value is. So the value could be like the results of some calculation in the program, or it could be taken from user input. So we're going to type switch, and then we're going to have round brackets, and we're going to have curly parentheses after that. So this is a pattern that we've seen many times before. And in here, we're going to put the value that we want to switch on. So we're going to examine this value with our switch and take different actions in here, depending on what its actual value is. So we're going to type some case statements here. I'm going to type case, and then we're going to put a literal value in here, 4, and then a colon. I'm going to hit return, and under that I'm going to type break, semicolon. And we'll see how this all works in a minute. And in here I'm going to type cout, value is 4, value is 4. And let's put a endler there. And we can have multiple case statements here. So we're only going to take this action if the value is 4. Let's copy that and let's put another one in. You can have whatever you like, of course. Let's say 5. Value is 5. Let's have one more. 6, and let's say value is 6. I'll just format that with the auto formatter. And finally, we're going to have default colon, and under that we're going to have cout unrecognized value endler. So what's going to happen here is that switch will examine the value, and it's going to look at these case labels. It's going to go down them one after the other, and as soon as it finds a match, it's going to execute this code underneath the case label, and then the program ends. If none of these are matched, it's going to do whatever's specified in the default, and it's going to say, in this case, unrecognized value. So let's run this, and it says value is 5. So it's executed this one. If we change it to 4, of course, it's going to say value is 4. If we change it to something that isn't matched by any of these case labels, let's say 8, we're going to execute the default clause at the bottom there. It's going to say unrecognized value. So again, this you sort of have to type this out a few times yourself to really feel comfortable with it. It looks a bit ferocious when you first see it, but it's really not that bad. It's just a question of remembering what bit to type where and not forgetting vital things like the colon or the breaks or whatever. We don't have to have this default value in here. If I just get rid of it temporarily and we run it, then it's just not going to do anything because none of the case labels are matched. But often you want a default for the case where none of your case labels are matched. Now we can only use certain types of values in there. We haven't seen the enumerated type so far. So all we can really use in there from what we've seen so far is like integer type values. We could use